Hi guys, I'm Suzy and welcome to This Adulting Thing. In today's episode, we are in crisis mode. Yay! I'm having my bi-monthly what am I doing with my life crisis, which I'm pretty sure we can all relate to. I feel like this happens probably every few weeks. I start to panic about whether or not I'm doing the right thing in my life. I think, what am I doing? Am I on the right track? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? And different things happen that kind of trigger these mini epiphanies. So one of my good friends has got engaged. They're getting married next month, and that kind of begs the question of, am I behind with the whole marriage thing? I mean, I don't want babies, but should I be engaged by now? Is that where I should be? And then you see someone get a new job. Like, my boyfriend recently got a new job and I'm so happy for him. He's doing great with it. But then I think, oh, am I on the right track with my career, or should I be changing something right now? And it's really annoying because I feel like it's a constant cycle that I always go through. And I kind of usually end up at the same conclusion. Sometimes this crisis has led to me changing career or picking up a new hobby or getting a new tattoo, but often I just sort of end up in the same place that I started. Which begs the question, why do we stress so much about what we're doing with our lives? And I think it's because, especially nowadays, you really get the sense that life is quite short. There's all of this stuff going on, for example, with global warming, with politics, with just all of these accidents that happen, these freak weather incidents, things that make you realise that often it can just be a case of wrong place, wrong time, and literally your time could be up, which is actually really depressing to be talking about. But it's true, it's just how it is. And because you're painfully aware that life is very finite, you constantly think, am I doing the right thing? Am I making the most of my time? Or am I wasting time? Am I beating around the bush and not doing what I'm meant to be doing? When I used to think what I should do with my life, I seemed to have a very clear vision of what it would be. And it's quite different to what I envisioned, which is fine because I do enjoy my life, but there's always niggles of doubt of, should there be something else that I should be looking into or focusing on? And there's also that real element of FOMO. Like, FOMO is so real. It's not just about whether or not you go out on a Saturday night or whether or not you book a holiday. FOMO in life is just constantly present in so many areas. I see people that I knew pursuing careers in marketing, which is where I could have been. So you kind of have a bit of that FOMO of, have I missed out on that career path? Should I have continued it? In my heart, I know that I shouldn't have. It wasn't the right move. I did make the right choice. But there's still that fear of thinking that there was another route that you could have taken. And I kind of wish there was like some sort of simulation which you could go into that where you could explore the avenues of your life. Like, if you'd have made that decision, follow that path, this is where you would have been. If you made this decision, you would have ended up here. Like, it would be so interesting to see how the decisions you've made have led you to the life that you're in now. Like, I know for a fact that if I hadn't have split up with my ex-boyfriend and moved away from Leeds and moved to Birmingham, there is no way that I would be a personal trainer. There just isn't. There's no way I'd be self-employed. There's no way that I'd be doing all the stuff that I am now or be the person that I am now. And I feel like it's all worked out for the best. I do believe that things happen for a reason and everything is meant to work out a certain way. However, it's just stressful when you kind of worry that you haven't got loads and loads and loads of time left and you just want to be making the most of it. What it comes down to is, are you doing things in your life that make you feel fulfilled, that make you feel happy? Because when it comes to what you're doing with your life, you normally ask that question because you're worried that you aren't happy or that you aren't doing the right thing. So if you're filling your life with things, with people, with tasks, with hobbies, things that bring you joy, then I guess you don't really need to worry too much about what you're doing with your life, because as long as you're enjoying yourself, that's really all that matters. Which is easier said than done, because tell me why I am sat still having this crisis every 2 months if it was that easy. My main doubts about what I'm doing with my life normally come about when things aren't really going to plan. So at the moment, there's something I'm doing around my business that I'm really, really working hard on. I'm really putting in a lot of effort and it's not really going in the direction that I wanted to. So it makes me question, is this the right thing? Is this what I should be doing, or should there be other things that I'm focusing on? So I was literally like on Google looking at all these different kinds of careers, just thinking, oh, well, what if I just changed again? What if I just did something completely different? And maybe that was the core purpose of what my life is supposed to be. But I made my choices for a reason, and I'm confident I'm happy in my choices. But that question just always whirls around in my mind. And if things don't work out, you start to think, is it a sign? Is it a sign that I shouldn't be doing this and I should be doing something else? But then at the same time, you do have to just have some grit and determination. I've been getting really down on myself about a lot of things that I'm doing that I feel maybe aren't working properly, and that kind of negativity isn't going to lead to results. Whether or not the universe is on my side or not, I don't know. However, I do believe that if I put the work in, why shouldn't I be able to get the results that I want to? But naturally, everyone who puts in work and everyone who grafts, that doesn't necessarily mean they get the outcome that they want. Which is why you kind of start to think about the sunk cost effect, which is a term that I learned in business probably back when I was about 16. But it's when you've invested so much time and so much energy, sometimes so much money into a project, that even though that project isn't going well, because you've already invested so much into it, you kind of feel like you're in too deep and you just need to keep plowing in those resources even though you're not getting the results. And it kind of comes to a point where you have to think, do I just cut my losses, accept that it's gone and draw a line, or do I keep plowing in the same time and energy into something that may not work and then potentially just lose even more resources? And as an impatient person, part of me thinks, am I suffering with the sunk cost effect, or am I just not giving myself enough time? And I think sometimes we just need to give ourselves some grace to just think, you know what, we're trying our best, we're trying to make things happen. And rather than panicking and starting to think, what am I doing with my life? Am I messing it up? Am I on the wrong path? You just need to kind of listen to your own gut and what that's telling you. And for me, my gut instinct tells me right now to keep going with what I'm doing and to trust the process, as they say. And if it doesn't come off, it doesn't come off. And I'll end up in the same old crisis of what am I doing with my life? And maybe then I will look at other avenues and other options. But sometimes you just have to ride the wave of this crisis. It's not always that deep. It's just you getting in your own head and doubting yourself. And as we've discussed in a previous video, self-doubt is just the worst. So yeah, if you're panicking about what to do with your life, you're not alone, because I am right there in the trenches with you. Do not fear. I hope you enjoyed today's rant. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will catch up with you soon.